Hi, it's Hani from Haniela's here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make absolutely out of this world blueberry babka using my quick sweet bread dough recipe. You can find a full recipe with a printable card on my blog hanielas.com. And now let's get started. First, let's prepare the filling. I'm using blueberries, sugar as a sweetener, and also some cornstarch. We're going to add that later. If you have a food chopper, you can just pop this into a food chopper and blend until you have a chunky mixture formed. If you don't have a food chopper, you can use a potato masher instead. And we're adding cornstarch to thicken this mixture, so it's going to look like a pudding basically. If you don't have cornstarch, you can also use tapioca starch or potato starch. Even flour will work. So I'm going to blend this all together. Just remember, we are looking for a chunky mixture. You don't want to pulverize it until it's super smooth. It's not a smoothie. I'm going to heat this until mixture thickens. You want to make sure that you stir it constantly to prevent burning. And then once you bring it to a boil and the mixture is thick, cook it for about additional 30-60 seconds, and then you can remove it from the heat and let it cool completely. You can also prepare the filling ahead of time and store it in the fridge. I'm going to be using a loaf pan to make one babka. My recipe for the dough makes 2 babkas. You can also shape it into a ring or make cinnamon buns with it, or mini tarts. There are so many things you can make with this incredible dough. To make the dough even richer for the babka, I used 4 egg yolks instead of 2 egg yolks that are listed in my main recipe. And what you want to do, you want to knead this for about 5-10 minutes until the dough pulls away from the sides of the bowl. You can see how rough it looks, and now it's nicely smooth, so we can dump it out. And I'm going to give it a quick 30-second knead until it comes into a ball, and then I'm going to divide it into 2 halves because we are making 2 babkas. Or you can use, like I said, the other half, you can use it to make cinnamon buns and other things. I'm going to shape it, and then we're going to give the dough a quick rest, about 10-15 minutes in a warm, moist environment. This is going to help relax the gluten, and it's going to make it easier to roll out the dough. So bring about 3 to 4 cups of water to boil and stick it into the oven for 15 minutes. And now we are ready to shape the babka. So I want you to roll it out to about 1/4 inch thick and about 12 by 16 inches. Now traditionally you spread the filling across and then you roll it, but I wanted to try something different, so I'm doing it this way. But by all means, you can just spread it across and roll it into a snake, or you can follow my instructions and do it this way. As far as the fillings, if you don't have blueberries, because blueberries are pretty seasonal, if you can't get them fresh, you can use frozen ones, or you can use strawberries. I've also used a lemon filling. I used lemon marmalade, and I added some starch to it, and I brought it to boil to make it thick, and I spread it over my bread. Oh, it was so good. There's so many different fillings. Of course, the classic chocolate babka, you can also use chocolate filling. Now you want to fold it like so, and then we're going to cut it in half, and then we're just going to create a simple twist. All right, pinch it at the end. And now we're just going to create a simple twist here. And then you can place it into your prepared baking pan. Now we're going to let this proof for about 1.5 hours. Again, I'm going to employ the same method I used before because this dough really thrives in a warm, moist environment. It's going to result in super fluffy, delicious dough that pulls apart, that pull apart dough. Oh, it's so good. So give it a good time to rise, and then while it's proving, you can prepare the streusel. I'm using flour, sugar, and butter. You can also throw in some lemon zest. And I'm just going to work the butter into the dry mixture with my fingertips, and this is what it should look like. Once the babka is ready, we can sprinkle it with our streusel. Before, I also like to add some milk, room temperature milk, brush it on, and then generously add that streusel on there. Also, don't forget to reserve some for the second babka. Or you can make a ring instead of traditional loaf babka. If you don't have another loaf pan, you can just shape it in a round pan, and that will make a beautiful ring. I'm going to bake this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees of Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes, uncovered. Then I like to cover it loosely with a foil and bake it for additional 15 minutes until it's golden brown, and a toothpick inserted in the bread comes out clean. Of course, it will be slightly purple, or you can take an internal temperature with a thermometer. Let it rest in a pan for about 5-10 minutes, and then you can use the parchment and lift it out of the pan and let it cool completely on a cooling rack. Babka stores really nicely in a freezer. If you want to freeze it, I suggest letting it cool completely, slice it, and then you can store it sliced and enjoy babka anytime you want. Oh, have a look at this. Amazing, right? So good. If you are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe to Haniela's on YouTube. And also, full recipe is posted on my blog, haniela's.com, and I will see you next time.